Let's go to Dallas, Texas, man. Homeboy called my bluff. What's up, Nathan?
How are you today, Dr. Delony?
I'm good. All right, so to set the stage here, the last show, we reached out to your wife. She wrote a letter, like an OG pen and paper letter. And
she said you loved them. So.
Do what?
She said you loved them.
Oh,
so
I do. I love them.
I
love them. But usually people send letters like, they're like real happy or thank you so much or here's how because of your show I'm doing this now in my life and my life's better. Your wife's letter was like, hey, I'm dealing with this, and I was like, man, we got to reach out to her. Right. Well, then halfway through our conversation, I'm like, man, the person I need to be talking to right now is your husband, and if he would call me, that'd be awesome. And then here you are, man.
Oh yeah.
Kudos to you, brother. Kudos to you. Hey, just so you know, she talks really good about you when you're not around. That doesn't happen a lot on this show, man. So well done, dude. Well, way to be a husband of integrity who honors his wife, man. That's cool. All right, so you in your voice, recap what's going on and how I can help.
A letter. So I do know, she was talking about my mom and the whole situation with her leaving and the way she left. Kind of put a strain on, mine and her relationship, not my wife's, but my mother's. And
hold on. Oh man, this is almost exactly as I thought it was going to play out. So for everybody, your mom met somebody on Twitter,
right?
After 30 years of marriage, or 30 plus years of marriage, just surprises everybody. Everybody thinks she went out for a run and she moves away. And then she sends a message to your brother that says, I didn't just leave your dad. I left all of y'all. This is over.
Right.
And then disappears.
Yep. That's exactly how it played out. It's a lot to unpack, really.
And it was 3, 4, or 5 years ago?
Let's see. It's right before me and my wife got married.
Yeah, this is also a week before your wedding or two?
2 months, actually.
Good gosh, man.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm in dangerous ground. Both of us are from Texas. We both know we don't talk about each other's moms. Fair?
Fair.
Yet I got to talk about your mom. Is that cool?
That's fine.
All right,
that's why I called.
I'll be as respectful as I can. What your mom did was one of what I would consider a core evil. Do you agree with that or no?
Yeah, I do agree.
What part of you is still trying to hang on and fix this relationship or make it right?
Man, it's one of those deals. The heart says one thing and the head says another. And it's real hard to, cut ties because at the end of the day, that's still your mom.
But she was so specific in how she cut ties with you.
Right. And, it's one of those deals. It's like you want to come up with a reason for why she did what she did.
There's not one, man. Maybe between her and your dad, but not you.
Right. And it's just one of those deals. I guess it's real hard to accept what she did. And like I said, you come up with the reasons, and it was better off for her to cut the ties to make herself feel better. And, it comes down to basically selfishness.
There you go.
Is what it is.
Yeah. And you will never know, ever, the dynamic behind closed doors of your mom and your dad's relationship. That's like, no one will ever know. The way he looked at her, what he said, what he whispered, good, bad, awful. No one will ever know.
Yeah, and that's what's so hard about it is, you saw the outer dynamic, what they put on display, 33 years of marriage. And then my dad worked the night shift, and for him to come home in the morning and she's just gone, she left her ring on the table, all the jewelry that us kids and grandkids had bought her, she left it and just up and left. Didn't tell anybody, didn't say anything to anybody. The only person she told was her sister, and that's how we found out she left. And it's just that betrayal, I guess.
Yeah. And I would tell you that the success of your future marriage, the success of your future parenting, and the success of your future emotional health is contingent on you making peace with that betrayal, not trying
Right.
to fix it,
Right.
because you can't. It's so unimaginable. It's not unimaginable for a wife to get fed up and leave her husband. That happens all the time. And
Right.
sometimes way to go, right? But to take all the kids' jewelry and to just try to control, alt, delete a couple of sons and a daughter, that's evil. Yeah, that's the embodiment of it. Has she tried to circle back and say, I'm sorry, and how's my kid? Like, how is she making her way? Because your wife's question was, I don't want this woman in my house. But I also
Right.
want to love my husband, and I know he's in a weird spot. Is she trying to make her way back in, or are you trying to create a new path?
Honestly, I feel like I'm trying to create a new path because I don't know if my wife had told you, our son was born 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, dude,
Thank
and you've got this picture that's not going to happen.
Right. And, me growing up, I had my grandparents around, but it wasn't, the Hallmark picture perfect, nothing ever is. But, I had my grandparents around, they helped us out. And, the older I get, the more I look back and more of my memories are, I worked for them. I feel like a lot of resentment towards my grandparents, and I don't want that for my kid.
Nathan, you can't control that.
Right.
Your mom cannot be around your kid. She can't. She's not a safe person of character who I would put in the life of my child for a number of reasons. But the hurt you felt and the pain you felt when 2 months before your marriage, your mom just evaporated in front of you and sent a note saying, I'm leaving you too, and here's all your crap back that you've bought me over the years. I'm not putting my kid through that.
Right.
Or the chance that would happen. Now, if you know anything about me in this show, I'm always about redemption. Always. If she comes back to you on her knees saying, I committed a core violation to the soul of my children, and I'm so sorry. And y'all wanted to start a multi-year process of regaining trust and regaining connection and communication still before you ever see my kids. Then I'd support that.
You're
I'd
right.
support that. But you're setting up a recipe for disaster in your home because your wife is looking at you, at the woman who destroyed her husband. And after you've picked yourself off the ground, bloody, scraped up, completely torn in two, your wife hands you your first son, and you're heading back to that same dragon that got you the last time.
Right.
You've got to grieve the loss of that picture, brother, because it's gone. She left. And dude, I hate it for you, man. I hate it for you.
Yeah.
Have you been anything other than angry? Have you wept yet?
Honestly, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, when she first left, us kids came together real strong. And then shortly after we got married, things kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And that was probably the last time I basically felt any emotion around my family base. I usually just, it's one of those deals. You just kind of try to suppress it and work through it.
No, you don't. You don't just suppress it and work through it.
I don't. It's not suppress it, but I channel it through my work.
Okay.
I'm a hands-on guy, so I just, I do my job and I work through my process. And I signed up for BetterHelp. You always talk about that, and I did BetterHelp.
Good.
And talked to my therapist, and he helped me through a lot of stuff.
Good.
So.
Here's your homework assignment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever listen to this show, I recommend this a lot, but here's your homework assignment. It's going to be unique to you. Normally we do this when somebody's died. And in many ways, your mom did.
Right.
The haunting part for you is her ghost still remains, and it's haunting. Because if you are any human being at all, you're a son. And you're asking yourself, what was so unlovable about me? What's so great about this Twitter guy? What's so bad about your grandson, for God's sake? There will not be a rational answer for this, because it's an irrational act. And so I want you to write, and even if you're not a writer, you got to do this. I want you to write your mom a letter. One of them is going to be how angry you are. And I want you for the first time to actually feel this stuff. You did this to us. I was your son. The second letter I want you to write to your mom is a letter about heartbreak. I'm sad. And I want that to be the start of the letter. Dear Mom, I'm really sad.
Right.
I had this picture of what my life was going to look like. You were going to be a part of it. We were going to have a different kind of relationship with grandparents. You were going to be that crazy, fun old grandma that whatever. And you left me, and I'm really sad. And the third letter you're going to write your mom is, Dear Mom, so we're moving on. And I want you to let her know what she's going to miss. And here's some things she's going to miss. She's going to miss how great of a father her son's going to be. And what a man of character and integrity he's going to be. Because he's never going to leave his kids or his wife. She's going to miss T-ball games. And she's going to miss when your little one learns to walk and goes and crashes into thing and the first ER visit with the big, got to get stitches. And going to miss all of it. The recital and the violin concert and the karate match or whatever. You can miss all that stuff. And I want you to end that letter with, I wish you the best. And I hope your life has turned out how you wanted it to. And that's it. And after that, we're setting this sucker down. And those will be 3 really tough letters to write.
Yeah, I mean, they're already tough.
Yeah. But yeah, she not only does she not get to see your kid, I don't think you fully metabolized. She has told you, I don't ever want to see your kid. I don't ever want to see you.
Right.
You've got to take ownership of that awful, awful, gut-wrenching reality. It's the worst. I can't, I'm sitting here thinking, my son asked me this morning, hey, Dad, can you drop me off at work? And he cleans out the neighbor's horse stalls and spreads manure with this tractor thing. And he does a bunch of odd jobs for a neighbor on their horse ranch. And I was like, absolutely, man. I'm leaving at this time this morning. Be ready to go. And he's like, yes, sir. And then I walked into the shower. And no, I went down to work out. And then I got up and went up in the shower. And I got to thinking about a talk I've got to do this afternoon. And I heard banging on my door, and I thought the kids were just causing havoc like they do in the morning, and I totally ignored it. And then I come out of my shower, I'm like, where is he? I was 20 minutes late. And he'd gone on sprinting down our driveway that's about a quarter of a mile, sprinting through the fields, over the creek, to get to work on time. And I was so ashamed. I was sad that I'd done that. And I drove my car over to where he works and drove all the way to the back pasture. And he saw me, he stopped the tractor, and he came over, and I waved him over, and I hugged him. And I said, hey, man, I told you I was going to be there to give you a ride. And I absolutely failed you. I'm sorry. I lied to you. I told you I would, and I didn't. I didn't show up. I wasn't a person of integrity. And he's like, it's okay, Dad. I said, no, man, it's not okay. Why do I tell you that? Nate, I'm not the best dad in the world, man. I'm trying to figure this thing out. But to send my son a letter that says, I'm leaving you too, I can't compute that. because I dishonored my son this morning by giving my word on something and not coming through, and I can't hardly breathe. And so I want you to own the full magnitude of what has happened to you, because what's happened to you is one of the core wrongs. A mom looking at her son and her daughter and saying, "I'm leaving y'all," and you can't avoid it, and you can't just suppress it, and you can't just work it like, get down, feelings, get down, get down. You can't, man, because they will resurface and they will wreak havoc on your new marriage, on your parenting with your kids, on your relationship with your siblings, and on and on and on. So the only path forward is through the storm, my brother. I can't tell you how proud of you I am for calling BetterHelp and getting some counseling. That's awesome. I want you to write these letters and in some shape, form, or fashion commit to your wife. Before I ever reach out to my mom, before I ever try to reconnect, or at some point she wants to reconnect, we will do this together, because I'm really emotional about it, and I need somebody who's going to give me some perspective and insight that I may not have when I get emotional. And your wife will say, awesome. Congrats on being a great husband and a great dad, my brother. And for everybody out there, you have to choose reality. You got to own reality. Here's what has happened in my life: the good, the bad, and the evil. And it's only from that starting line can you then ask, what are we going to do now? Where do we go from here?